We all look forward to the end of the day, and we're ready to go to sleep. But in many occasions, you get the complete opposite of that, and experience something terrifying, something that you cannot explain. Here are 2 sleep paralysis stories. I suffer from a rather common condition known as sleep paralysis. For those unaware, it causes your body to go into an almost shock-like state upon falling asleep or waking up. You seem to be unable to move, speak, or breathe. And if that's not enough to terrify you, the loud static noise and black figure from across the room is sure to put you at the edge. Now, the black figure isn't something everyone will experience. I cannot explain what it means or what it is, but the idea of it makes me afraid to sleep. Now, my story begins in 2013. My parents had just divorced, and almost immediately I was told to make a choice as who to live with. I chose my dad. He got in a house out of the city and was much more financially stable. Plus, my mother was addicted to drugs and didn't want much to do with me. The house was in a small neighborhood of maybe 10 houses. The house itself was 2 bedrooms. My dad said my younger brother and I had to share a bedroom until he could find a bigger, permanent house. We didn't have any furniture as it was our first day there and couldn't arrange to have anything moved that day. So my younger brother and I made pallets on the floor made of blankets and pillows. It got late and I didn't have anything better to do, so I went to bed. By this time, my brother had fallen asleep and all the noises in the room were drowned out by my box fan. I was facing the one small window in our room. It didn't have a curtain or anything blocking the view outside. There wasn't too much to see besides the backyard fence and the dimly lit porch light reflecting of it. I'd doze off gazing out the window. Before I continue, let me just give some information on myself. I'm not a paranoid person. I don't get unreasonably afraid of unrealistic things, nor am I spiritual, so what happened next entirely threw me off. I slipped into a strange, terrifying state of sleep paralysis. This is the first time I'd ever experienced this. I wanted to scream, but couldn't. I wanted to move, but felt as if someone was shoving down my chest. It was almost like I was paralyzed. I could see everything in the room without distortion. I was facing out the window. Moments after that, a man came peering outside the window. I couldn't really say it was a man, as it had no distinguishable features, or any at all, for that matter. It was just a black figure, just like a shadow. It slipped open the window, began to climb in. By now I'm seriously freaking out, unable to move or scream. I had no idea whether I was awake or asleep. I just knew I didn't want to be where it was. It walked towards me, and just like that, he was above me, looking over, and bam, I was awake, in full terror, sweating out of breath. I decided I slept enough for the night. Confused by what just happened, I began my research and diagnosed it as sleep paralysis. It had happened maybe 10 times in my life, occurring only when I'm staying in new places. Not always the first time, but within a few times it'll occur, always when I least expect it. And every time, it's there, that black figure, the loud static noise. He's always walking into the room, never already in there. Few times I've gotten lucky and have been facing the wall while going through it and have not seen the figure, but it's still just as terrifying. As I'm writing this now, I'm afraid to sleep, for the fear that I'll slip into the hell state known as sleep paralysis. This took place 2 months ago when I was with my dad and stepmom for the time being. I have trouble sleeping since I'm always up late, either texting my online friends or watching movies. Even when I have nothing to do, I can't sleep, which can lead to remembering scary ghost stories. Since I'm always scaring the shit out of myself by watching scary movies or hearing scary stories, which that involve ghosts, spirits, demons, etc. When you are up too late, you start to hallucinate, imagining stuff in a dark corner, or see something move out of the corner of your eye. It happens a lot to me, and I get paranoid easily. So when it happens, I get a little scared. So I just try to sleep it off, and it worked. I fell straight to sleep. Before sleeping, I was watching a video of my favorite YouTuber. He was doing the Siri challenge, which is that you talk to Siri at 3. I had a dream about that video, which rarely happens, and I remember the exact same words that Siri replied to the question. His question was, "Siri, who is hurting you? Who are you with?" She replied saying, "I'm with the spirits, and I'm working for them, and I'm sending you one to investigate you." After the sentence finished, I shot up straight, sweating and breathing heavily. I tried to calm myself down, and it worked a little. I laid back down trying to fall asleep again, but something didn't feel right. I felt like I was being watched. I shrugged it off, just thinking it's my imagination, since it was 2 in the morning. After a few minutes, I felt something laying on top of me. I shot my head towards my legs, seeing nothing. I started to get worried, thinking, what the hell is going on? I've had sleep paralysis before, waking up at the middle of the night, not moving, and just breathing heavily trying to move. But this was different, way different. I stayed up just looking around, getting the feeling like being watched again by someone or something. My stepmom was asleep and my dad was at work, so it was very silent. After an hour, which was 3 in the fucking morning, terrific. If you don't know 3 o'clock in the morning, it's demon hours, where the doors to the spirits or demons opens up, which makes it much easier for them to pass through. When that came around, I started to get more uneasy, but more tired. So I took that and I went back to sleep, but awakened later by something moving my hand slowly to the other side, and I got really scared, pulling my hand to my chest. After that, I didn't sleep a wink. After the incident, I didn't encounter anything unusual, but for sure, I never want that to happen to me ever again.